From high above the earth, in the middle of Utah's vast red desert, you can see a splash of impossible color, vibrant geometric pools of electric blue. What could they be? A secret government project? A bizarre natural phenomenon? The truth is far more fascinating, a story that starts with a simple fire and ends with a multi-billion-dollar industry that feeds the world.
Hello and welcome. If you're new here, welcome to Amazing 5.
Our story begins thousands of years ago, around a crackling bonfire. As our ancestors huddled for warmth, they noticed something left behind in the cooled embers, a fine gray powder. They discovered that if you took this ash, leached it in a clay pot with water, and let it evaporate, you were left with a powerful, concentrated substance. Because it came from a pot of ash, they gave it a simple name: potash. This humble powder became one of humanity's first industrial chemicals. It held the secret to making soap, creating brilliant colored glass, and dyeing fabrics. For centuries, this was the only way to make it, but as populations grew, so did the demand. The process was slow and required burning enormous amounts of wood. In 1790, a man named Samuel Hopkins patented a new, faster method for production, an invention so important it became the very first patent ever issued in the United States, signed by President George Washington himself. Shortly after, in 1807, the brilliant chemist Humphrey Davy used electricity to isolate a brand new element from potash, a silvery, highly reactive metal he named potassium. As the Industrial Revolution surged, the world needed more potash than ever, especially for a new, crucial purpose: fertilizer. Scientists discovered that the potassium in potash was essential for plant growth, helping crops resist disease and dramatically increase yields. But making potash still relied on burning forests, an unsustainable practice. The game changed when Germany discovered massive underground deposits of potash salts, remnants of ancient evaporated seas. They began mining it on an industrial scale, and by the early 20th century, they controlled the world's supply. This control became a weapon. Just before World War I, Germany cut off all exports, creating a global crisis. The United States, suddenly desperate for this vital resource for both farming and manufacturing munitions, launched a nationwide search for its own domestic potash sources. That search led them to the arid lands near Moab, Utah, where geologists found a massive potash deposit, but it was buried over 3,000 feet underground. At first, they tried conventional underground mining, but in 1963, a tragic explosion in the mine took the lives of 18 miners, forcing a change. A safer, more ingenious method was developed, inspired by a Canadian technique called solution mining. Instead of sending people down, they drilled wells and pumped hot water from the nearby Colorado River deep into the earth. The water dissolves the potash into a rich brine, which is then pumped back to the surface and into a series of vast evaporation ponds. These brilliant blue shapes are the result of that process. They aren't swimming pools. They are the final stage of a massive mining operation. To speed up evaporation under the hot desert sun, a deep blue dye is added to the water, which helps it absorb more sunlight. As the water evaporates over roughly 300 days, the color of the ponds changes, shifting from deep blue to turquoise, then to green and yellow as the potash and other salts begin to crystallize. Once the water is gone, what's left is the pure potash, ready to be harvested and sent to farms across the country. What began with ancient ash in a pot has become a modern marvel of engineering, a silent, beautiful process in the middle of the desert that helps feed the world.